The comments heard on The View from a Pew are those of Mac McKoy and are not necessarily the opinions of his guests, his producer Garth, any one particular denomination or religion, the church lady, Mr. Lemke, Pastor Craig, or anyone else of sound mind and body. Now, here is today's The View from a Pew, heard all around the world on YouTube. Just search for The View from a Pew.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I always tell you, the listener, that I stole that opening right there from Jim Carrey when he did the movie Truman. And I do that, and I use that here because, yes, we are live here today on the 6th day of November in the year 2024, but you may be watching or listening to this a day from now, a year from now, who knows how long we'll be able to cloud our programs. And so we're very, very thankful that you're listening and watching us today as you can. If you are a podcast listener and you prefer that, just search for The View from a Pew, The View from a Pew on the pod site that you listen to, and we're on 27 of them thanks to my producer Garth, and I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to find us. Or you can go to YouTube and search The View from a Pew. You can also email me if you want, Mac, M-A-C, like macaroni, at theviewfromapew.com. All right, today we are stretching out our show here into two segments. We had Scott, the first one, in the history of Haggai International.
Haggai International.
Haggai, I'm going to give up on these folks. International, and we heard where that is coming from and how it's serving the Lord in the world. This is an international ministry. In fact, you have no leaders, purposely. You have no leaders in America or Canada.
As far as faculty, correct.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Today I want to introduce you to a man who I can't pronounce his last name, so Daniel, you do it for me.
Caguenas.
Caguenas. All right.
Perfect.
Did I do it right?
Yeah,
That's
great.
the only time I'll do that. You are an international business person.
Yeah.
We could go on and on and on about the number of companies that you work with, but we would be aware of most of their names. But today we're talking about how the Lord came to you at a very young age. And I'm just going to turn it over to you and let you share your testimony with us.
Okay. Thank you, Mark, for the invitation and to have this time. Yeah. My testimony shows the grace and the love from God. So when I was about 2 years, my father and my mother got divorced.
When you were 2 years old?
Yeah,
okay.
I was two years old. So they was focused on their jobs. My mother used to be a successful lawyer working with the government.
In Colombia?
In Colombia, yeah.
She was an HR director, as I recall, right?
No, that's my wife.
Oh, that's your wife. Okay.
Yeah. And my father was a successful executive from different companies, multinational companies. So they were quite busy in their things. So they start a new family 4 years after they got divorced. So they start a new life with a new family. I have a sister from my mother's side, and I have a sister and a brother from my father's side.
Okay.
So I was part of all the family, but sometimes I felt like I wasn't part of the family because I was in the middle.
And this is growing up in Colombia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's growing all over the world.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about the 50% of the married got divorced.
Yeah.
So.
And you said yesterday that you felt like the black sheep of your family because you were in the middle.
Yeah, and also because I start to decide about my life from just the beginning of my teenager age. So my decisions at that time was not so good. My friends were about 4 or 5 years more than me,
Older than you, yeah.
older than me. So I was the little kid with them. But when they start to drink alcohol, they are 14 or 15 years. I was at my 11 years old. So they start to use drugs. I was on my 12 years old. So when I start to experience this kind of life with alcohol, drug, bad companies, and many things, my life was a little bit struggling with another problems. I mean, I was facing another problems. So finally, when I was 18 years old, I was with a real hard life, with many problems, also with the justice, because when I was
Law.
yeah, with the law, yeah. So when I was about 17, finishing my 17 years old, I thought that I was committing murder in a situation.
Committed murder?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
So I knew months after that the man was alive, because the law came to my home with a process, and the process was for heart injuries, for heart,
Critical injury.
for critical injuries,
Okay.
but not murder. Yeah,
So the person you were accused of murdering was alive?
yeah,
Okay. Good. I missed that yesterday. That's
Yeah.
an important part. Go ahead.
yeah. So it was quite hard. So on September of 1996, I decided to commit suicide. So
And how old were you then?
18.
So you were in the
18
middle of
years
this trial, or still accused of murdering this guy.
Yeah. But it was, I mean, when the law sent me the process, it was maybe 6 months after I received Jesus.
Okay.
So coming to the past, I was just in the middle of the problems without knowing nothing about the process with the law. I mean, it was like on May of 1997, but I was in this part of the story on August or September of 1996. So I was at my home alone, maybe about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was alone, and in a minute, the telephone was ringing, and I took it, and then I answered the phone. So it was a woman, and she was continuously asking me if I am okay.
Okay.
What are you doing? Are you alone? And I said to the woman, "Who are you?
Yeah.
Why are
you
you?"
didn't know who this person
No,
was.
I didn't know
Wow.
her. So when we start to talk and to have a normal communication by the phone, she was trying to convince me to find a new hope for my life,
Okay.
because I was telling her that I was really, really tired with my life. So I haven't found an answer and a purpose for my life. So I was thinking to end it. So she said to me that you haven't tried with one man, and his name is Jesus. So when she started to talk to me about Jesus, my answer immediately was, I'm not interested to know nothing about God.
Okay.
Because also I was related with the dark side.
Yep.
I was related with the occultism, and I had friends in Satan's cult services, groups.
Demons.
Yeah. So I knew how to create and to build a relationship with demons when I was 17 years old. So when this woman started to talk to me to have a relationship with God, it was like a joke for me because I was in the other side. So after a few minutes trying to convince me to give God an opportunity in my life, I decided to cut the call. But she said to me, "Can I pray? Can I pray for you?"
Yeah.
So I say, "Yes, you can pray if you want." And when she starts to pray, the first thing that she said was, "There, Jesus." And when she said Jesus, the demons took me on the air and they start to hit me against the walls and the floor.
Beat you up.
Yeah. So
The name of Jesus is so powerful that the demons knew that you were getting close to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So something really strange for me, weird for me, was the telephone was with like a stick to my ear, like if somebody put in glue,
Okay.
and it was completely sticky. Yeah, sticky.
Stick, yeah. That's correct.
To my ear, and even in the middle that I was impact and hard from the demons, the telephone was here.
Okay.
So I could listen everything that she prayed. So in the middle, as she was praying, the demons started to trying to break me by the half. My right leg was almost in this side, and the pain was so hard.
Almost straight up.
Yeah, because the demons were trying to break myself by the half. So the amazing part was that she said through the phone, by the phone, demon of death, let him free.
In the name of Jesus.
Let his feet, his right leg free. So when she said that, I was on the floor, completely exhausted. But at that time, I felt that something was run away from my heart, from my soul. I couldn't explain it, but something was away from me.
The demons had left you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that with the names and the expression. Sure. I was a normal guy in a middle of bad situations with bad relations.
And let me just say here that I believe in spiritual warfare, so I understand what you're saying. And for those of you who may not understand spiritual warfare, go to the Bible when Jesus enters the village and runs into a group of demons inside of a human person, and he said his name was Legion. So this is biblically correct.
Yeah.
That something like this would happen to you.
Yeah, and there are many more examples at the Bible. But yeah, I was at the floor, completely exhausted. And finally, I could pray for my first time. But my prayer was completely simple. I say, if you are real, I give you my life today. And if you are God, figure out all my problems, solved all the situations that I have, and I give you my life today. So from this day, we start to experience, and I begin to experience many things. For instance, I used to drink alcohol and use drugs every day. And the next days, when I woke up, I didn't have the need for my first time in 8 years to drink alcohol or to use drugs without any treatment, without any help, any medical help,
God reached
psychologist help. I mean, it was something really real, really weird for me.
God just reached in and took away that feeling.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So from this day, I start to walk with Jesus. That woman becomes like my spiritual mother.
Okay.
And I start to read the Bible with her, and I start to have a relationship with Jesus more than my another friends in the dark side.
Yeah.
So yeah, I start to live in his light and in his will, knowing him in a profound way. My heart was completely in love from the beginning. So for me, it was quite easy to decide many things that were related to Jesus and to walk with him. So maybe 3 months after that, I start to see some miracles.
Wow.
And one miracle was that I was the black sheep, as you said.
Yep.
The black sheep of my family,
Yep.
and also the black sheep of my neighborhood. So I was a guy with long hair, earrings, and appearance quite hard. So without any projection, any perspective to be a nice and a useful guy for the society. So one day I was at home alone, and the telephone rings, and the call was from one of the best universities from Colombia.
Okay.
And they say to me that I had a place to study business administration.
And you did not apply.
No.
They just came out of the blue.
Not at all.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, my desire when I was 17, almost 18, was to use drugs and living in the clouds, just riding and just painting and just to take hours in just enjoying my clouds. Yeah. So business
being
administration.
high, being drunk.
Yeah, being high.
your own God in
exactly.
many ways.
Yeah. So when I received this call, it was quite funny for me because my profile and my desire, my projection, it wasn't to be a businessman.
Yeah.
So I decided to go to the university to quit. And when I arrived the first day, they say to me that they have all my documents are complete, but without any signature. And that was something weird for them because how we have this package of documents without any signature and they have the place to study. Because if you don't have the signatures, maybe the process will be cut. But the position was there for me. So I said to the assistant of admissions, I'm not interested to study. I just want to quit. Please, can I take my documents to go to my home? And she said to me, okay, so yeah, you can quit, but please, can you go to that room first and then you can quit? And I said, okay. So I went to the room that they show me, and there was an exam to see your level and the skills, and to see, I mean, your performance in different topics. So yeah, I answered the exam, and when I finished, I was talking with the other person. I have my exam, but now I want to quit.
Yeah.
And and she said, okay, yeah, you can quit, but can you do me a favor? Can you go to the other room that is over there? And she said, and I said, I don't want to go. I just want to quit.
Yeah.
But finally, I had to go to the other room. And when I was there, it was an interview with many people. And during my interview, I said to them, I just want to quit.
Yeah, you don't want to do this.
Yeah. But okay, we are going to finish the interview, so we can continue, and at the end, you can quit. So after 25 years, now I am a business administrator.
Yeah, you're a...
I finished my career and my degree. So it was the purpose from God. Yeah.
And you are now an international business person. You have a consulting firm, and you consult. I mean, if you listed the names of the clients you have, it's the top companies in the world.
Yeah. I mean, when God dreams with a life, he can do an amazing things.
Yeah. And he's done that with you.
And God decided to see in me what nobody was able to see.
Yeah.
So when I was at my 20s, in the beginning of my 20s, I was selected for the university to be one of the junior consultants from the university in business. So I start just in the beginning serving coffee, taking copies, but starting the new way to understand the business in the business on the understanding of a consultant or advisory.
Yeah.
So for many years, across the years, I work with about 6 or 7 companies around the world. Siemens is one.
Yep.
Genfar Sanofi, the pharmaceutical company, is another one. I work with many companies.
Oil and gas.
Yeah. Different sectors.
Okay.
Industry, healthcare,
Okay.
oil and gas. Different sectors. And after 17 years working in different countries, I live in Australia and United States, Argentina, Chile. So after all these years, God put in my heart the desire to start a consulting firm. So for the last 12 years, I've been working as the CEO of a consulting firm, and we do advisory in strategic topics. I mean, strategic planning, corporate governance, organizational
There's that
behavior.
word strategic again.
Yeah.
Scott.
Yep.
Yeah. For boards and also for the C-level. Yeah. So, and business owners. I mean, my target are all the strategically positions at the company. So, yeah, I have clients from all over the world, but especially the companies that are operating in Latin America and the south of the United States.
Yeah.
So that was my how do you say that? I mean, that's my job.
And it's also your ministry.
But also my ministry.
Because you share the gospel with every one of those people you work with.
Yeah.
Well, I can't thank you enough for coming in today. I hope you're having a wonderful time, and I personally just am crazy about you. And I hope you have unbelievable success. And let's the three of us make heaven real crowded.
All right.
That would be a good goal. All right, you've met the folks from Haggai.
Haggai.
Oh, Jiminy. And you've met one of their ministers, and I'm just so thankful that you guys came to America and stopped by and saw us, and God bless you both for what you do. And I can't wait to be in heaven with both of you and hear about all your successes. I just want to thank you very much for coming and listening today. We do our best to bring you all the stories about the Bible and then the people that make those things happen. I'd also like to thank our international sponsor, DivineTruthChristianStore.com, and I want to thank you for listening, because I love my job and I couldn't do it without you. Right here on The View from a Pew.
Where you'll find more.